My name is Noah, and I come from DBC, which is it's Dansk Bibliotek Center, which is sort of a Danish library center, if you translate directly. And I'm going to introduce a little bit about what do we do, so that it makes more sense when I start to talk about how we use AI and what we would like to use HPC for. So the company, we were rebranded a couple of years ago, so now the name is DBC Digital. And what it is so there's a legislation in Denmark that something is published, then it needs to be registered as part of the cultural heritage of Denmark. And so that job has landed with us and with the Royal Danish Library. I think it's safe to say that we do most of it, and then some articles are done by the Royal Danish Library. But that means that we're part of critical infrastructure in Denmark, because the cultural heritage is so important, and as such we are a utility company. But what it means in practice is, every day there's a little van that rolls up at the company out in Ballerup, and it has a bunch of books, maybe 200 books per day, and all those books are then get into the hands of trained librarians who they have all these rules where they need to register the correct things. Of course, what's the title of this? Who's the author? And when was it published? What's the language? But they also need to give them sort of metadata like keywords or subjects if they can. But there are detailed standards for this, and we do books and journal articles and comic books, musical publication, everything that's published. So for that we need some software, right? We need a tool for doing this, for making sure that what they put in live up to the standards. We need to store it somewhere safely, and of course when it's in there, we need to be able to use it. So you need to be able to search in there, you need to be able to present it in a nice way, and you need to maybe batch export it if there's an external partner that needs to use all this data. And what that means in practice is also that we have all these librarians that are working with the materials, and that's basically half of the company is trained librarians that enter metadata. And then the other half, I mean, of course there's also management and there's other people, but there are two parallel factory, and they're not parallel, but there are at least two professions. There are developers and there are librarians, and they're sort of 50-50. And of course I'm one of the developers, and we have this AI team where we work with AI. But I should say some other things. The products that we expose publicly is the most important thing, I guess, is the web page bibliotek.dk, where you can search for books and other materials, and when you find them you can reserve them so you can go down to your library and pick it up and take it home. And of course there's all kinds of software involved do you have the right to reserve this book? Has your library access to this? And then it needs to be sent there, and then when you pick it up, that has to be registered too. That's not really what the AI team works with. Another thing I should mention is we have our own data centers. We are not using the cloud for storing all this information or hosting our services. It's all run in our own infrastructure. We have 3 different locations. Because it's critical infrastructure, if a plane crashes down in our headquarters, we need to be able to restore it, so we need multiple locations for it. Maybe I should... that means that we are not paying for GPUs or anywhere for GPUs at Amazon or Google or any other places, and that'll be relevant later. Just a map of this is a slide I found on our intranet, and I can't say I know everything about this. I've only been there for 5 years, so know maybe half of these, but the ones that are circled are those that we in the AI team are involved in. So it's just to illustrate that there's a lot of things going on. So when working in an AI team at DBC, so we have a lot of different things that we work with. One of the things that are not, I should mention this because I said it before, we have this search engine, and that's one of our tasks. That doesn't have a lot to do with AI, but that will come. We want to do better query analysis using AI. But we have AI tasks such as recommenders. When you look at something, then we have a little band down under it where you can see what's related to this book and related in what sense it means. That maybe there are subjects, or maybe somebody borrowed it, who also borrowed whatever you're looking at right now. We also have this software where the librarians enter metadata. We have software that if the text is available electronically, then we have a language model that sort of reads it and then tries to figure out some subjects that it suggests to the librarian. And it's only suggestions. It's not that we enforce anything, but it's a help for the librarians to pick the right keywords for a text, so that they don't. I mean, we shouldn't have too many keywords because then it's harder to search. But if they stick to a number of keywords, then it's easier to search for things. So yeah, the team we have 6 developers in the AI team, and then we have 2 data specialists that sort of dig into user behavior or how many people reserve things, how many people borrow this or that. The team has been around for 10 years, so we haven't been to any toy stores and seen kids who thought they were going to get a PlayStation and they didn't. But yeah, we have some experience. I've only been in the team for 3 years myself, but there is some experience, and it all started with a Stanford course in 2011. Yeah, and yeah, so we have this help for metadata production, and then we have some products that helps the user. So there's the search engine that I mentioned. We have recommenders, we have a suggester, and then we have tools for related subjects. And if you make a search where you don't get any results, then we try to help you with a "did you mean," like Google does. And then we try to analyze user behaviors by clicks and how long they stay on pages and all that. Some projects that we're working on right now is an ontology. So the thing we have right now, when the language model that helps find keywords, it sort of it matches yes or no. So if a model suggests German Shepherd for a text, and in the validation set we have that the text actually had dog as a keyword, then that's a 0 on this loss function, right? But I think we can do better, so we're trying to organize our keywords into a hierarchy. So, of course, it's better to suggest dog than it is to suggest toothbrush or whatever. So hopefully that idea should give some better models. So we're working on something like that. And of course, an ontology like that can also be used for other things when we do recommendations, or maybe in the user interface. If you're interested in this, then maybe you can go up to carnivores, or you can go down to a particular kind of dog. So yeah, that's another project we're working on. We also started going into all this chat hype because we all know that's coming. There was maybe 6 months ago, there was this prototype that came out in the school business where there was a new skole-GPT, where the idea is that we want to have a GPT that's sort of safe to use for for the pupils in the school. So it's not, if they use ChatGPT, then who knows where all this stuff they enter ends up. And so to help them, we came in and we said, we have our own infrastructure, so we can host it, so we can guarantee that everything that is entered and run stays on Danish infrastructure. And of course, that's only the beginning. We're also starting to go into the retrieval augmented generation. So one example is to go in and we have something called Facta Web, where there's some articles where we want to help. We want to specialize the chat to find the information from there. And I should probably move on now. And we wanted, the vision is that we can do this even broader. So Facta Web is maybe 60,000 articles, but we want to, if we can, we want to do it for all the materials that we have. That's it. But what we want to use HPC for is basically, we want to have better Danish language models, like Magnus just said. This is something where we think we can do better, and we might have access to, I mean, we have access to a lot of text, but how much of it can we actually use is something that we're working on. But it would be great if we can have some more GPUs than we have. We have some GPUs, but of course it would be much faster to train good models if we have access to a cluster of GPUs. So, yeah, so if we have that, then maybe our school GPT or Facta Chat or whatever we use can be better. And also we can hopefully use it to this project where we can get better subject extractions for text. And our collaborators, when we took over SkoleGPT, we collaborated with Center for Undervisningsmidler. We are working with academia, because they have some experience in training large language models that we don't have. And then, of course, we work with EuroCC and HPC centers locally. So I think that's it for me.